For the longest time, I just figured prayer was, well, simple. You just say the words, right? But then I stumbled on this way of thinking that just totally flipped my perspective. It presented prayer not as just asking for things, but as a deeply technical system, a system with its own rules, its own architecture, and its own protocols. I just had to understand how it worked, so I decided to map it all out.
And really, for me, it all kicked off with this one big question. When we pray, where do the words actually go? What's the journey they take? This model really pushed me to think beyond just, whispering words out into the world. It made me see prayer as a signal, navigating this vast, unbelievably complex network.
So, the very first thing I had to get my head around was a total redefinition of prayer itself. According to this framework, the prayer, or dua, isn't really the words we say. The words we say, turns out, that's just the data packet, if you will. The real signal, the actual transmission with all its power and intensity, is broadcast from our inner state, our sincerity, our emotions, our conviction.
And that was a huge moment for me. If the signal really comes from inside us, then to get how strong or clear it is, I realized I had to understand the machine that's sending the signal in the first place. And this model describes our consciousness as this incredible three-layered device.
And I absolutely love the way this model breaks it down. So at the top layer, you've got our conscious, awakening mind. Think of this as the GUI, the graphical user interface. It's where we're literally typing out our request with words. But right below that, you have the subconscious. This is the powerful processing engine. This is where the signal gets its real strength, because it's encoded with our deepest beliefs, our hopes, our fears. And then, at the deepest level, you've got the spirit. This acts like a command line interface, a raw, direct connection that doesn't really get language. It only understands the pure, unfiltered state of our sincerity.
Okay, so I've got this sender figured out. That's us. But what about the network? Where is this signal going? And this framework, it paints this picture of the universe, not as some chaotic, empty space, but as this massive, rule-based operating system with its own internal logic and principle.
And a huge clue for how this whole system works comes from this powerful saying. This told me that prayer isn't some kind of glitch. It's not a hack that breaks the rules of the universe. Instead, it's more like a powerful built-in command, a feature, not a bug, that's coded right into the fabric of destiny itself.
And this next idea is what really made it all click for me. So instead of seeing destiny as just one single, unchangeable railway track, I started seeing it as this huge network, full of different tracks and junctions that are already there. Prayer doesn't magically build a new track. It's like the command that throws the switch, guiding the train of your life onto a different, already existing path.
So, if you put it all together, the prayer's journey looks something like this, a four-step process. First, our conscious mind forms an intention, the data packet. Second, our subconscious encodes it with our true feelings, which sets the signal's power. Third, our spirit verifies if it's genuine, and only after it passes all those internal checks is the signal sent out to be processed by the universe. It's this really elegant flow, right? From a simple thought all the way to a cosmic transmission.
So, of course, this got me thinking about something really practical. If this really is a transmission system, are there ways to boost the signal? How do we get the best, clearest, fastest connection possible?
Well, the model talks about these things it calls signal boosters, but they're not really quick tips or life hacks. They're profound states of being. Just think about it for a second. A broken heart, a moment of total desperation, the humility you feel in prostration. What do they all have in common? They strip away all the noise, all the ego from our conscious mind. What's happening here is that all three layers of our consciousness, the mind, the subconscious, the spirit, they all just snap into perfect alignment, creating one pure, powerful, high-priority signal.
Okay, but this led me to the next big question, the one I think we all have. What about the prayers that, seem to go unanswered? The ones that feel like they were rejected? And what I found out is that this isn't a bug in the system. It's not a dropped call. It's actually a feature.
See, the system has what you could call a firewall, and it's there to protect us from ourselves, really. It processes every single prayer, but it prioritizes what's actually best for us, not just what we're asking for. The key thing I took away is that no prayer is ever wasted, not a single one. It's either granted right away, delayed for a better time, swapped for something even better, or just saved as a credit for later. The system just doesn't drop packets.
So after digging into this entire model, the one big secret, the main takeaway for me was this. The real magic of this whole system isn't in how eloquently we speak or how many times we repeat the words. It's all about the state you're in when you send the message.
And really, that's where this whole exploration left me.
It takes this giant cosmic idea and brings it right back to a very personal, very immediate point. So let's just forget about the words for a moment. Right now, in this very second, what signal is your consciousness, your deep beliefs, your emotions, your trust or your doubt? What signal is it broadcasting out into the universe?